We're making no apologies. That's it, umhlaba mawuhlulwe, so that our people can have access to the land.
Life is difficult, but you must soldier on. Don't give up. If you are a coward, you don't belong here.
Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to Civil Politics. We have one la, and tomorrow it's the anniversary of the EFF. The EFF turns 12. Oh my god, I am so excited. It's not even funny. So what today I want us to talk about is just to look at a few things that Julius Malema said at the presser. There is so many things that he said. I thought I would do this video yesterday, but yesterday I was very busy. So I want us to touch on a few things. But before we touch on a few things, on what he said, he answered Floyd. Let me not say he answered Floyd. Let me just say he took a jab at Floyd. So he was addressing and answering some questions, and then he says, I'm gonna play that clip for you guys, for those that did not watch the presser. And then he says to Gadi Goti, the DP, he says to Gadi, is there anything you want to say? I don't want you to leave here and go start a political party and then say you were not given a chance to speak. So Gadi is like, and he laughs. He's like, oh, Gadi is chilled again.
DP, you want to say something? No, say something, because you're going to live here and form a party and say you are never given a chance to speak. Anyone wants to speak, speak.
So finally CIC takes a jab at Floyd, because also we've seen that he has not said anything about Floyd. He has not said anything. I was listening to Marshall Dlamini the other day on Thing 702, and he was like, well, I mean, it's a non-starter for us. So we can't waste our time talking about things that they don't exist. I was like, oh, the journalists that we have between, and I'm actually shocked that they did not ask about Floyd in that media briefing. Do you know that? They did not ask about Floyd or Maibuye in that media briefing. I'm so proud of our journalists. No, I'm proud. Let me give them their flowers where it's due. I'm actually very proud of them. The entire press, someone brought this to my attention because I did not even think of Floyd. I forgot. But the fact that they went into an entire briefing, asked the questions, and they didn't ask about Floyd, guys, that speaks volume. It also speaks on to see that it's not important. Like, Floyd is just not important, especially now. I think there's a lot going on in the country right now, and no one is paying attention. Yeah, well, no one is. I think probably when everything died down, if he's still going, that's the time. His timing is really, really bad. It's very, very bad right now. All right. Also, before we get to what Julius Malema said in the presser yesterday, Kenny Kunene and the journalist, the so-called journalist that they went to Mr. Molefe's house, the question was asked to Kuti, why didn't they break the story? And it's because he was with a journalist. The journalist's job is to break news. If they were breaking news that Mr. Molefe got arrested and they went there to interview Mr. Molefe, why didn't they break the story? So the spokesperson of the PA, Steve Motale, says the online. He says they ran into they couldn't run the story. Okay, let me start from here. It says here, the online publication linked to the deputy leader Kenny Kunene couldn't publish the story about Katiso Molefe's arrest due to unexpected events that took place that day. Kunene was found at Molefe's house on Monday. When the police came to arrest Molefe, when asked what he was doing at Molefe's house, Kunene said he was accompanying a young journalist from African News Global. In an interview with Radio 702, Motale says the story about Molefe's arrest couldn't be published because the phones of Kunene and the young journalist were confiscated by the police. The journalist who was there was the one supposed to load the story on the website. There was nobody else. First of all, when you are a journalist and you are breaking a story, I'm asking you guys, when you are a journalist and you want to break a story, Do you need your phone? No, I'm just asking. If you are a journalist and you lose your phone right now, do you need a phone to break a story? Can't you write another story? Or like I don't understand how a story is linked to their phones being confiscated, because they were there. They did not take any pictures of anything. Their phones were confiscated. But I feel like they could have broken the story on Twitter, or I'm just making an example. Anyway, why did they need their phones to break the story? That's a question for you guys, because I mean, I'm not a journalist. So sorry guys, I've got bad flu. I this anniversary that I'm going to tomorrow, I need to make sure that I dress warm, otherwise I'm gonna be sick flat. So I mean, you tell me guys, why they needed their phones to break a story. I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking from a content creator perspective, because I mean, as a content creator, if my phone was confiscated, right, and I wanted to break a story, when I get home, I would make a plan to actually break the story. There is absolutely no way that I wouldn't break a story because my phone was confiscated. Do you get it? But let's continue. So I'm just gonna read a few posts from Utsiti. It says here, Malema says the first anniversary. Oh, Julius Malema also touched on the anniversary of the EFF, that the EFF and the ANC, I see people are throwing tantrums over this statement. Julius Malema says the anniversary of the EFF can be anywhere in any province. Then someone asked the questions. Someone asked about the MK. You could, the MK, Yona, are you afraid? Don't do anything in 2026. Julius Malema says, well, MK has only had an anniversary in KZN. Let's see if next year they can go to Lesotho or they can go to Mthatha. He says that only ANC and EFF can do such events. Umakasela Mzobe replied again from that comment, what if President Zuma has advised us that we focus on votes in the next election rather than filling up stadium. Rather than filling up stadiums. So a lot of people were throwing tantrums about that statement, saying Julius Malema is focusing on stadiums, wara instead of because stadiums don't bring votes. I'm like, so it also says a mess in action. Malema's take. Also CIC has commented on the MK, on what they were voting for in Parliament, and that they were voting for the expropriation bill, and then they didn't hear, they thought it was the Mkwanazi one, and then they said they were in support. You know, the problem with MK, it's not because they made a mistake. They said they were in support. The speaker there in front said, let's go back, confirmed their votes, and asked them, are you sure? They all at the same time said, in support. Now my thing is, if this lady Colleen makes a mistake, the speaker asks them again, Ukuti, are you sure that's what you are trying to say? And everybody says, yes. That means it's not only Colleen who's making the mistake. They are also not paying attention, because someone there in the MK, when Colleen said in support, someone who's sitting here should have said to her, no, you are making a mistake. Even after the speaker has said to them, Mukuti, are you sure? They all said, yes, in support. Yeah, what? And had that been a different speaker, by the way, they shouldn't have been given a chance to retract, because everyone started voting, it all moved forward, and eventually, when everyone had done voting, eventually, I don't know what happened, but they realized, I know we made a mistake, and they were asked 4 times to vote. 4. I saw Colin posted something there, Umakubel, and said, the speaker made a mistake. What? The speaker said, we are going to vote for the 5th bill. And then he said, and then they all went quiet for some time. And then he came back and says, no. My apologies. We are going to vote for the 4th bill. And then the person who's reading went ahead and read it. The expropriation bill, and read it. He did not only say, I'm sorry, we're going to go, we are not voting for the 5th, I made a mistake, we're going to vote for the 4th. And then kept quiet. He said, my apologies, we are going to go, we are reading the 4th. And then they read it in words. So when they were reading it, The lights, that means they were all not paying attention. I think that's where the problem is. It's not the fact that they made a mistake. Everyone makes mistake. And if Colleen makes a mistake, why is there no one around her who says, oh no, you are making an error? Because we're all paying attention. So that means they were not paying attention. Even the speaker was paying attention on their behalf because he kept on asking Guti, are you sure? They said, yes, in support. And then they asked the EFF. The EFF said against. The speaker said, how many are you? They said, we are 40 something, I don't know, 40 or 50. And then he said, and then what are you voting? They said, in support, chair. They were all shouting. God, I was shouting the wrong. So Julius Malema had a comment. He says, the MKP erroneously voted in favor of an appropriations bill. Its whip says they made a mistake. MK will never reduce us in numbers. And even in thinking amount progressive forces.
My apologies. The Secretary will read the fourth order.
Second reading, Appropriation Bill.
As there is no list of speakers, are there any objections to the bill being read a second time?
Yes, House Chair, please note the objection of the EFF. We call for a division.
There's a call for a division. The bells will be rung for 15 seconds. Honourable members, the question before the House is that the appropriation bill be read a second time. Voting will now commence. The ANC.
Thank you, House Chairperson. With 140 members, we vote in favor.
The DA.
74 in favor.
MK.
49 in support.
EFF.
Thank you, House Chair. 35 in the House, voting against.
Order, honourable members. May I just go back to MK? Can you clarify the number of votes, please?
49, 49.
49
Yes.
against.
Sir, in support.
In support.
Yes.
Order.
So yeah, so there's quite a lot, man. There was quite a lot that CIC said there. It was a nice presser. I think we haven't had a presser in quite a while. He also commented on Minister Ngabane Ukuti. She's just being advised on the streets, that one, and whoever that is advising her wrong. Yeah, but and he was like, she needs to humble herself, and she just needs to learn, man. Yeah, but she just needs to learn. So let's go back to the article and find out what. Let's just go back to the article that I was actually originally here to read, and see what it says. What it says. Let's go back to Julius Malema's presser, okay? I'm going to be reading here because there's a lot of things that he spoke about to CIC regarding General Mkhwanazi, and what I've picked up is that they actually talk with General Mkhwanazi. There's a lot of information that CIC had. I've heard some people say, where is Malema getting all these things? Where does he get all these things? No. Guys, I think when people know the kind of person you are, they just tell you things. Like, it's like me as a content creator. People tell me things. It's just that I've told myself that you tell me a story, I'm not breaking a story. I'm not the first one who's gonna break a story. I'm not gonna do that. Especially if it's like a serious story, because I'm not a journalist. So people, I think they just tell CIC things because, I don't know, or maybe they wanna have like a supporter or an ally. I don't know. Okay. So, Julius Malema mentioned something yesterday which was shocking for me. It shook me and it took me straight to the ground. He mentioned that the National Commissioner, who I thought was innocent, because when General Mkhwanazi came out and started speaking about other people and what they've done, he did not say anything about the National Commissioner of the Police. So I thought that guy was innocent, Masemola. I thought he was innocent and he was on the side of Mkhwanazi. Yeah. Now Julius Malema in the press is telling us, no, he's not innocent. There is actually a warrant of arrest against him. When there is a warrant of arrest against you, it means that there is proof that you are guilty. Literally, Or maybe he was supporting Umkhwanazi because on the allegations that Umkhwanazi was raising, his name was not there. And also because he mentioned something about factions. One thing about factions, they destroy unity. He mentioned something about factions that the minister, which is Senzo Mchunu, and the deputy commissioner have their own faction. The national commissioner has his own faction. And yes, but let's get right into it. Let's read. Let's read and react while we continue. In a fiery media briefing in Cape Town on Thursday, Julius Malema pulled no punches as he addressed the ongoing chaos in the country's law enforcement. He linked the warrant to alleged wrongdoing by Masemola in crime intelligence. Oh, okay. You see, his warrant of arrest, it's linked to wrongdoing, claiming it was issued but not yet executed due to political games. There is a warrant of arrest against Masemola. It is out. I don't know why he's not being picked up. It means someone somewhere is playing politics and they want to undermine once more the independence of the justice system. So what CIC was saying is that the warrant of arrest for the National Commissioner is out already, but he has not been picked up. Why? Because you know when a warrant of arrest has been released, that means someone must be arrested. But here, why? So CIC was saying they are playing politics. I mean, that's politics. We are saying they are playing politics. So it says that this revelations comes amid a wave of scandalous rocking SAP, where accusations of corruption, syndicate infiltration, political meddling have dominated headlines. Malema's comments build on recent explosive allegations by KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, who on the 6th of July held a briefing accusing high-level officials, including Police Minister Senzo Mchunu, of colluding with crime syndicates and interfering in sensitive investigations. Mkhwanazi detailed how a drug cartel and a criminal network have infested law enforcement, controlling operations from metropolis to national level, and even influencing politicians in parliament. He claimed that lives in South Africa are now controlled by crime, which is very scary. If Tina ngoku sihleli up lead by crime, that is very scary. Like no one is safe. South Africa is now controlled by crime, with syndicates protecting high-profile criminals, while ordinary citizens suffer from rising violence, extortion, and drug-related killings. This is why I kept on asking Uguti, there is absolutely no way that extortion has risen so much in all the provinces. Cape Town extortion, Eastern Cape extortion, and you are telling me that there is no police to stop that? It didn't make sense. It really didn't make sense. Where businesses in Mthatha even resulted in closing down. So that means these things are approved here from the head. God. Factional struggles and government response. Malema described the situations as pure criminality, pointing to factions within SAPS that align with political figures for control over resources like secret slush funds. He highlighted his splits, such as a group backing Mchunu and another tied to the former officials, saying there are factions in the police. You've got a minister working with Khumalo and Masemola. These battles, according to Malema, extended beyond SAPS into government, paralyzing efforts to fight crime. He criticized President Cyril Ramaphosa handling of the crisis, particularly the decision on 13 July to place Mchunu on special leave rather than firing him outright. Ramaphosa appointed Professor Feroz Kachalia, a former provincial minister and university lecturer. Why do you think President Ramaphosa out of nowhere can just take Kachalia? Where do you think Kachalia comes from? Titaya Ndiaye's son, as an acting police minister, whilst establishing a commission of inquiry to probe the allegations, Mchunu has denied the claims, but the move has been slammed by the EFF as weak response that allows the minister to continue drawing a salary and attending ANC meeting without real accountability. Minister Mkunu was supposed to be fired completely. That's what CIC said. He said Senzo was just supposed to be fired. But Ramaphosa is protecting him because he wants him to still afumani salary. He wants him to continue getting a salary. Malema said, adding that Mkunu should have resigned to spare Ramaphosa the tough choice. He will never resign. Soz. The EFF leader also welcomed parliamentary's adoptions. Okay, there was also parliamentary adoptions and voting that happened yesterday, which Julius Malema has welcomed. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you are going to Khayelitsha, I'll definitely see you there. Thank you for tuning in. If you don't know who I am, my name is Zizi Polo Pelwanet. This is Simple Politics. We are ready. Please subscribe to this channel. It is free of charge. Subscribe. And also, guys, if you can support the channel, please support the channel. Buy the host coffee if you can. The details of the supporting are attached at the bottom of this video. So yeah, guys, I will see you on the next one. Let's meet in the comment section. Tell me what you think. Let me know if you watched the presser or if you didn't. And yeah, let's meet in the comment section. If you're going to Khayelitsha, I'll meet you guys in Khayelitsha. Aluta continua. The struggle continues. I'm so excited. Until the next one.